Hello viewer, hope the day is treating you right. We got a surprise patch today. The game is now available with Chinese translation, with a couple more already in the works. That's very good news. I really hope that being available in multiple languages is going to help this story spread. I really think it deserves to be known by as many people as possible. And also on the technical side, perfect metals have been made a little more available than before. Now the Ancestor Scout has a little stockpile of it, and it became a rare drop for certain enemies. It's probably to encourage playing around with builds and not just stick to the one that you keep upgrading. We shall see. So, last time we got flashbacks from both Brava and Canary, and really all that did was make me sadder than I already am about these children. Remember, they are like 18 or 19, practically still children. There's something about this whole society just tossing all their children out. I don't really know what to think about that. Like, I can't even say that they get tossed out into the world, because they don't even have a world. It's literally just their own small island. And still, no one is taking care of these poor little children. Emotionally, at least. From what we've seen so far, they just get tossed into their jobs once they are done with general education. Really don't know what to think of that. Probably started like a Eastern communal roots, but things got twisted along the way. I don't know. But it's very clear that this society doesn't really favor individualism. You just have to know your place and stick to it, which of course comes with its own share of troubles. Yeah, for these guys, I probably should be wearing electrocution resist. And then, I don't know, I don't stagger as much as I would like. I do need this, I think. So many times I am just a single hit away from filling a counter. We will see. Okay, come on. Come a little closer. And none of those are perfect blocks. Okay. That is slightly better. And I just barely managed to get electrocuted. That should count for something. Okay, now we slowly wait for the bar to empty again. No need to risk anything. Yeah, the spear works pretty fine currently. I think I said I was never gonna use the segmented longsword, because you need to chain perfect hits with it. And the last time I tried the arc lance, I died almost immediately, because it is rather unwieldy. So this is what we have to work with. There we go. That's more like it. Oh, this was another authority. Ah, now I do remember. This is where Aram found all of these are Archimancy, practice, and research stuff. And I think I also remarked that this kind of lamp is the first of its kind. Like in the upper regions, there were more halogen-looking lights, not these kinds of light bulbs. And we are entering the slums. I have a bad feeling about this. And also I am ever so slightly confused. Like, we do know that the people that were living here were not permitted to travel between strata. Everyone was basically corralled into their own specific narrow section based on genetic purity. So with all that in mind, what is the purpose of having slums? Like, everyone in here should be the same, right? Otherwise they would not be permitted to be here. So what is the need to make slums specifically? Oh, what's this? There was an ancestor blocking my path ahead. It was one of the slower, more sluggish ones. Okay, and why do you feel the need to remark that? Oh, this is as good an opportunity as any. Are we going to do archimancy? I stepped forward carefully and readied my hands. I focused my mind on the stone dagger I'd been practicing for days. Oh yeah. Over and over again, until I could picture it in vivid, unshaken detail. This time, I'll need to do it quickly. Very quickly. I felt my pulse quicken. Trying not to let my nerves throw off my focus, I finally mustered myself to charge forward. Okay, here we go. Combat Archimancy. In combat, RM can use Archimancy to create temporary weapons and extend his attack combos. Take advantage of the interaction between old and new Archimancy to deliver devastating blows to enemy ancestors. To initiate an Archimancy attack, you must first land every hit in an attack combo. Oh joy. If you miss a single hit, you'll have to wait until your next attack to try again. I see. You notice that the purple Archimancy meter will fill as you complete your attack combo. On the final hit of your attack, when the purple meter is full, hold down Z instead of releasing it, and you'll immediately launch into an Archimancy attack. Practice initiating. Okay. So... Oh. Once RM has created a temporary weapon with Archimancy, you'll immediately begin attacking again. Attacking with a temporary weapon works the same as a standard weapon. Press Z right as the outer ring touches the inner ring to maximize damage. So far, understandable. Once the Archimancy attack is complete, or you miss an attack, the temporary weapon will crumble into dust. However, you'll also gain a brief Archimancy ability advantage for several turns following the attack. These abilities have a variety of beneficial effects. I see. So it's basically attack and then buff yourself. So does that mean that you don't have to do it every single attack? Keep in mind that you must wait until the previous ability advantage has exhausted before you can perform another Archimancy attack. Ah, so it's the other way around. You do have a cooldown. It's just that you gain an extra buff while it is on cooldown. Okay. Let's see it now. Oh, this is very fast. Using an Archimancy attack costs faith, but you regain a small amount by destroying enemies. or all of it by resting at a campsite. You can increase your maximum faith by upgrading your penitence attribute. Wow. Yeah, that's quite the telling name, huh? Similarly, you can increase the damage dealt with your archimancy weapons by upgrading your insight attribute. Okay, makes sense. Lastly, note that archimancies are equipped in your loadout menu and associated with either your primary or secondary weapon. You may have up to 2 archimancies equipped at any time, and the weapon you attack with dictates which archimancy you will use for your archimancy attack. Okay. Use what you learn to defeat the enemy. I will do that. Okay, it looks like it takes 6 faith points. And we gain back 1 after killing. Okay. My heart was pounding. It worked. It worked even better than I thought it would. For the first time in many weeks, I felt something like a sense of encouragement come over me. For once, I have a single advantage over this horrible place. Yeah, that must feel amazing. Finally have a fighting chance. You kinda did already. Okay, stone dagger. A simple stone weapon of your own design. Stone comes in many varieties with various material advantages and uses, making it a common first material taught to young children in their archimancy education. Okay, 2 attacks, 60 damage. Faith cost 6. And for 4 turns, boosts damage dealt during stagger attacks. I see. So, that also means that we're going to be able to gather more kinds of archimancy. This is not Dark Souls, so we're not going to find them lying around. It's probably going to be tied to the story. Wow. Well, it says this is the slums, but it's not all that much different. Maybe it's just the fact that they were starting to multiply in here, and they have had to put a bunch of people in a finite space. That tends to create slums. I don't even know if slums are about the quality or just the density of people living together. Usually one thing brings out the other, but I don't know. Whoa. Yeah, this is just like post-Soviet apartment blocks, huh? Just built for the express purpose of housing as many people as possible. And still, if every stratum was basically locked down, people couldn't move freely, then where did all of these people come from? And you can't tell me that this place was for the elite. Because if they were, they wouldn't be building slums. So I really am confused at this point. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the prompts are not even the same every single time. That's a little cheap. Okay. And now we need to go back to this, because we are not dealing with electric enemies. Okay, go down. Perfect metal. Yeah, there's entirely too many people for this place. I thought this was just an isolated place. For maybe the researchers or higher-ups or something, but no, it appears that this is very standard, actually. Go there, go down. Okay, so you do long attack and quick attack. Well, at least they stagger easily enough. Oh, there's another. Yikes. Okay. There's a bunch of those discs. What was it? Was this like a library? There's just shelves all the way to the top. Maybe this was built towards the end, and they were very literally running out of space. Maybe this is just a corridor that also serves to be storage space. This way goes further down. This way too. Oh, look at that. Look at the snaky one. So, I'm confused. We still don't know who made these ancestors and why they look the way they do. In the beginning they were so decrepit and like half broken. I thought that was just a function of being around for so long, but you look at these new ones and they're just eclectic. Bunch of things where they don't belong. Like, what is this guy? Little half-size thing with additional knife arms. It's almost like there's an AI that's building them, and it kinda got confused with the schematics. There we go. So, we cannot go this way. Down here. This is probably a dead end. Maybe go look for it. Oh. Okay, time out. Okay, I do want to fight you. Oof. Oh, you can even hear how heavy the weapon is with each swing. Oh, okay. And the only downside of the spear is that it eats through my stamina like it's nothing. Insurgent's sidearm. What's this now? A narrow retractable blade intended to be concealed or worn discreetly beneath the user's clothing, leveraging the element of surprise to deal fatal, precise strikes. Okay, short range. 3 hits. And on a perfect hit deals extra damage for each nearby enemy. I see. Well, just gonna take a look. Oh almost looks like a switchblade. Huh. Another one of these tiny storage rooms. How do you go to the top shelf? I don't see any ladders around. Would people just make handholds with archimancy in the wall and climb up? That sounds a little inefficient. So we need to go this way. Okay, some fighting. Ah. Ah, missed it. You did not see any of that? Okay, broken data card. There we go. And yet another authority. Yeah, I still think there is only one terminal authority. It's just connected to all the bodies. And for some reason the first one that we found deactivated. And all the others went with it. Unless it's the other way around, and that one was actually the final one, because it was the closest to the exit. It was the only one that wasn't deactivated, or something. Salvaged hydraulic. The salvaged remains of a hydraulic system that once functioned to operate an ancestor limb. In this context, the hydraulic fluid pushing through the tube is in many ways reminiscent of blood flowing through an artery. That's kinda how it works, yeah? Destroying enemies restores a small amount of health. Interesting. So we got the kinetic blood stimulant that restores a little health on each stagger attack. Let's see how much a small amount is in this context. And what's this? Ah, there's two of them very close together. Oh, goddamn. You know what? I'm out. Need to heal up again. Then wait for the laceration. This little knife guy is no joke though. Oh, and this knife actually has two counterattacks. Dang it, I missed. Okay. Ah, that was 3. Yikes. No, it doesn't actually do the archimancy attack if you stagger them with the last hit. we go. I'm not going to say that these fights are getting harder, because I am getting worse. That is a fact. Oh. It's one of you guys, huh? Okay, let's see if maybe I can make you. Sneaky bastard. Ancestor frame. And here we are. Tungsten ward. What's that? A hard dense metal protective charm with ostensible ritualistic purposes. Tungsten has an incredibly high melting point, which makes it particularly useful in the settlement for metallurgy. However, its density makes it incredibly difficult to create by means of archimancy. Okay, how do you create it then? I thought that was the only way to ever make anything around here. Perfect blocks increase physical defense, however, standard blocks will reduce this bonus. Oh, goody, look at that. Something for gamers that are better than me. Oh. Big guy. This was down, this was up. The only problem is you cannot use a bandage from the inventory, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die to this guy. What's a level up? And this leads back here. Awesome. That was something down there. It's probably where the electric guy is. Okay, in that case, now's the time to rest. And almost onwards we go. Just gonna look back a little bit. Get that guy. Okay, still wearing the electrocution resist. Okay, now that I don't want to, I make a perfect battle, huh? Okay then. What's in here? Insurgent's buckler. Now, what type of insurgency would happen in a place like this, with a bunch of people pushed together into the slums, with ancestors guarding the way out? It's anyone's guess. A small lightweight shield focused not on absorbing blows, but to parry and deflect them, often opening your opponent to retaliatory strikes. Okay, almost no absorption, but a very good counter boost. Okay. Still going with the one I have. Okay. There's probably something here, right? Or was this where I came from? I think this might be where I came from. No. I came from there. Oh, come on! I had it that time. Well, anyway. gonna switch it back to the blood stimulant. It's practically healing the same. Kinda, depending on how many stagger attacks you can do by spamming the button. Maybe if I were to do this, sacrifice a little bit of counter potential. Well, okay. Okay, here we go. This should not have been so hard. And of course there was no reason for me to do this. Okay, that's the thing I hate the most. This guy just turns on a dime when you try to dodge out of his way. Here we go. And that was this place. You can really tell I'm directionally challenged. Doesn't really help that I started playing CX Song the other day, and I am just so goddamn lost all the time. So, where does this lead? Oh wow, what is this? This is definitely some kind of lab. But what were they doing in here? This better not be a cloning facility. That would make me a little mad. There was a small pile of message cards atop a long table. I picked one up that looked functional and quickly slotted it into the message reader, watching the green characters slowly fade in. This is my report on the last of the specimens you provided me. Uh-oh. Oh, what were they up to in here? I'll be elated beyond belief when I can wash my hands off this vile work. Okay, were they doing like eugenics, genetic modification on babies to make sure their archimetic genes are as pure as possible? Or maybe even artificially increased gene purity? Yeah, that would be fucked up. Simply put, they're dead. Not a single infant lived longer than a few days after introducing the gene, just like the others. Ay. Yep. Eugenics. Introducing, though? I thought everyone had archimetic genes. Is the twist actually going to be like it's aliens, and there are people who are compatible with the genes, and there are people who are not? And they're keeping the incompatibles like cattle, just trying to make it stick somehow, and it never does. Well, that would be plenty of reason for there to be an insurgency. It's what I've been telling you for months. Nothing about the potency of the embryo's existing gene going in improves their viability. It's impossible. We can't supplant our children with stolen genes. Oh, maybe it's... You know what it might be? Maybe the people from the lower stratum somehow got a hold of a genetic sample of someone from higher up, and they were trying to make their children more pure so they can get out of the place. Yeah, okay, that would make sense. I care not what political implications this has. I'd like only to be left out of the senseless killing of so many children. I know, of course, what you have planned for me now. Don't trouble yourself. There's no need to send a vanguard to my cell. When you read this, I'll be gone already. The freedom fighters gave me an ultimatum last night. I'm to join the cause, or they'll kill me. They intend to storm the upper strata, throwing body after body at the terminal until they break through. I'm to be just another piece of fodder in a losing battle. But I intend to go willingly, you see. Given the choice to die at your hands, no longer useful in the carrying out of such inhumane and depraved acts, or die cut to pieces in the small hope that we might end this oppression. At least the latter might redeem some modicum of what I've done. Farewell. Well, that was a scientist with morals. Godspeed, you magnificent bastard, whoever you might have been. Yeah, I feel you, buddy. This is no longer just about the famine, huh? These people had troubles, the likes of which you cannot even imagine. But still, using eugenics to fight the oppression, now that's a thought. Trying to engineer your children so they're actually able to have social mobility out of this place. Now we're getting broken down the lower we go. Whoa, this path seriously bends towards the middle. Oh. Okay, I think I would like to spend my memory iron somewhere. Okay, what is this? You know what? I kind of want to be topped up for whatever is awaiting us. And there were no fights along the way here. So I might as well just go back and rest a little. Okay, definitely need some more vitality, so I don't almost die every single time. Penitence or insight? Insight was the strength, right? Penitence was the capacity. It's really telling that the game would call this stat penitence. It really does feel like Param just put himself into the role of savior. And especially after getting called out by Prava that he's basically abandoning his friends in order to go down here into the well. It might entirely be possible that Param is no longer seeing this as his duty, but also more like a penance for all the things he's sacrificing for the greater good, as it were. I don't know. What I do know is that Oram is going to be up all night trying to contemplate this. This shit is not a thing he has seen in his life. So, what is this? And why do I have a horrible, horrible feeling? Just a ladder down the side. Oh wait, look at that. We are at the halogen lamps again. And there's the symbol. Oh. There was a Rest stop here. Generation passage. Are we at an elevator? Ooh, that would be dope. I stepped through the threshold of what appeared to be the remains of a great metal door. It was enormous, nearly twice my height. Freight elevator, perhaps? Or cargo? Stepping through, I examined the layered metal, which had now rusted apart and collapsed. At some point, the door must have been incredibly thick. Perhaps several feet thick all the way through. Whatever it was meant to protect, I thought, was meant to be kept absolutely inaccessible. When I saw what was in the center of the room, my heart stopped. It looks like an elevator. Oh yeah. Now this would be guarded, no doubt. And it looks fairly untouched too. Like none of the wear and tear. Nothing out of place. Immediately I ran forward to get a closer look. It was unmistakable. It looked almost exactly like the one I'd seen in the area above the strata. The terminal authority hadn't been lying. And not that you would know it, but I'm pretty sure the ancestors are incapable of lying. They are machines after all. There were others. What's more, it seemed to be in significantly better condition than the other. I swung the door to the small room open, looking around eagerly. I don't like the music that's in the background. Some horrible revelation is afoot, huh? The interior looked identical to the one I'd seen, but free of rubble and debris. The panel on the wall seemed in better shape as well. I came close and tried to see if there was a way to interact with the elevator somehow. I didn't exactly know what I was looking for, but I'd formed somewhat of an intuition about the strange mechanisms I'd encountered in the well. There was some invisible force that seemed to connect devices together. It allowed one to pull a lever or press in a small indent and open a door or activate some other contraption. Surely this elevator is no different. I fiddled with the panel for some time with no luck. Stepping back outside to take another look, I was reminded of the raised panel just by the elevator door. I stepped close and put my hands on it. Does this look right? The other elevator's panel had a lever of sorts. Yeah, someone took it, seems like. There's nothing like that here. My heart sank. Well, you can go back up to the other elevator, take the lever, then bring it back down here. How about that? Did it break off? Shit. Not again. I was beginning to panic when a thought occurred to me. I recalled the stone dagger I'd practiced so hard to perfect. Oh yeah, you can also do that. You just need to be careful not to accidentally slice through the entire thing. That might happen, you know? Maybe I don't need the original lever. I just need something that's the same shape. If I return to the other elevator and study its lever, I might be able to make a copy that works. Or you can do that? That's actually sensible. I really thought for a moment he would just jam a dagger in there. Quickly I pulled a scrap of paper and charcoal stick from my bag and made a sketch of the panel. I noted down the rough dimensions of the indent where the lever was supposed to fit for later. The other elevator is quite a ways up from here. I suppose I return to the surface and make a sketch of the lever itself on my way back. I'll perform the archimancy tonight, and then return tomorrow to try it. Yes, this will work. Which means it's probably not gonna work, huh? Oh, are we still not done here? Or are we just time skipping? I climbed the stairs to the second floor of my home, heart beating out of my chest. I came to the top, eager to get to my room. Okay, so he got home without incident. That's nice. And so, Canary. Well, you're not really supposed to be out here this late. If I were to take a guess, the stuff with Prava is still on his mind. He was sitting, slumped against the wall just outside the doorway to his sleeping room. Warm light danced across the floor from the flickering lanterns hanging on the ceiling. He looked tired. His eyes were unfocused, and his head was tilted downwards. He hardly even reacted as I came up. I stood for a moment, expecting him to launch into conversation as he usually did. To tell a story or make fun of someone he dealt with that day. But there was nothing. He's quiet again tonight. I shifted my feet uneasily, thinking about what Prava had said. Her desperate pleas. No. I should follow my own advice. I'll leave him alone. That's what he would want, right? I turned, trying to put it out of my head and focus on making the lever. But I'd hardly taken a full step when something stopped me again. It was a heavy feeling in my chest. A feeling that maybe I really wasn't doing enough, like she'd said. Yep, I think that's called guilt. Maybe I am a bad friend. Kinda. To be fair, all of you are bad friends to each other. It's mostly down to an inability to properly communicate. It's something that all of you share, which makes me think that it's the entire society's fault. I slowly turned to face him again. I'm asking because I want to. Not because she is forcing me to. Khan, are you doing okay? Seeming pulled from a thought, Canary blinked and turned his head to look at me. Yeah, I'm fine, he said rather coldly. Why? Already I was cursing myself internally. I shouldn't have. Nothing, you just seem... I stumbled over my words. You look down. So... I thought I'd see if you were, doing alright. Canary looked at me intently, raising an eyebrow. Oh, he said, the faintest of smiles coming over him. I get it. This is coming from her, right? She sent you to talk to me. Shit. I shook my head emphatically. Shit, that adds up, he continued, almost chuckling. I thought you'd been acting weird lately. I cut him off. No, Khan, I began, forcing as much conviction into my voice as I could manage. Nobody asked me to talk to you. I have no idea what you mean. Canary's faint smile faded. Seriously? You're gonna lie about it? He asked, sounding offended. Yeah, everything is just complete self-destruction with these people. In a way, if they do survive. they actually can build proper friendship from the ashes. Maybe. If they even want to still. What for? We're friends, right? I know it was her or him. It's so obvious. Everything stays between us. Just tell me what she asked you to say. Nope, that's a trap. Do not do it. I couldn't keep his gaze, so I looked away, shaking my head once more in denial. Canary let out a long, slow breath. Whatever, he said, looking straight ahead. Do you know what's awful? I'm not even a little bit surprised she would resort to something like this. She has her hands all over me. I can't do anything without a damn lecture. Canary rested his head on one hand. Let me tell you something, Aram. You know how I am. I'm lazy and rude. I don't take anything seriously. But it's not because I don't care or it's like below me. Canary smiled apathetically. It's because I'm just not worth very much. And I know it too. Whenever I think about doing something, I mean really trying at something, giving it all my effort, you know, I remember that. I remember how little it matters. Yeah, guy has major depression. And he's most likely not even aware. That out of all the things people do on this island every day that matter, I make pottery. My very best is just an afterthought. It's something you look at once passing by and forget the second it leaves your sight. That's why I won't ever amount to anything more than I am right now. They made quite sure of that when they put me in the kiln. You get it, right? I'm beyond fixing. Prova would be a whole lot happier if she'd just steer clear of me. I've always thought that. So why don't you go tell her? I opened my mouth, and the first thing that came to mind was an elevator. I pictured hundreds of windows and doors, the sound of metal echoing for miles as ancestors stalked me endlessly in the darkness. Yeah, his PTSD, really, has a flair for the dramatic. I pictured humans that lived long ago. Their struggles and suffering. Piles of bodies just out of my sight. The thought that I might round the corner and find a room full of corpses. Missing bodies. A world without hunger. Fields of grass that stretched out of sight without a coastline. Oh God, I'm such a fool. There's absolutely nothing I could possibly say that would offer even a hint of comfort to anyone on this island. And just like that, he thinks himself to know better, and so he won't even try. It's the opposite of what he has been doing, but the same sentiment really. He trusts his own judgment above everyone else's. Sachita is wrong. Prava is wrong. This is between her and Canary. They'll sort it out. Everything that has been happening is precisely because they cannot sort it out. They do need an intermediary. They're just going to maybe kill each other or break their friendship forever But you cannot be that mediator, huh? You got your own shit to deal with. I do understand. But it is true. All of this makes you a bad friend. And you just have to live with it. Because I can't. I'll find some other way to keep Provo quiet. I don't have the time to interfere. Because my obligation is the most important of all. Saving everyone. Yeah. Yes. Without me, the settlement won't survive. I'll give it a 50-50 chance. Without me, nothing else matters. That's kinda solipsism. Oh, another midpoint save. Well, okay then. Seems like this is going to be our stop point for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this story, which I hope you do, then please give the video a like. If you're new here, look around my channel. Maybe I have something else that is to your liking. And as always, I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care of yourself and have as good a day as you can make it. Goodbye.